Oh, wow, check this out. I didn't know I still had this. This was, oh my God. It looks crazy and clustered. I'm CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, across the Red River from beautiful Bossier City, Louisiana. And um, there is so much imagery going on in this uh, oil painting. And that, um, well, so yeah, it's really a mixed medium. There, it is oil painting, but there's use of acrylic here also. But um, the oil you can tell because oil kind of gets into a canvas and kind of spreads out and is oily as it dries. This has been a few years old, so it's perfectly dry now. But yeah. I was just doing a lot of experimenting with oil paint on small canvas and realized that I don't like it. It's a mess of a medium, but this one, I don't know, kind of stayed with me. Um, Over here, there's like a spectral, my version of a quickly painted skeletal figure that I think is, for me, I think it kind of represents the ghost of everything that's happening here. And this is a representation, my representation of urban decay due to systemic and generational poverty, the effects of it uh, in urban areas, even where I live. And so we had like a old brick building, and there's a gun, and then there's a spigot, and the spigot is "Don't shoot that thing at me." But there's a bit of a double entendre also, because here's a gun with a bullet being fired and hitting the wall and blood coming out, and so the spigot is uh, low key. It's a penis. There you go. There's a big secret. I never said that to anybody before. I never just came right out and said that. But yeah, this is somebody getting shot, and it's a but you know, uh, it's an allegory for it. It's not. I didn't want to actually Uh, I didn't want to actually go through the gore of an actual body, but that's what this is. And then of course, um, you know, leaky spigots on the side of the building and everything like that, collecting in puddles, and yeah, uh, on the all this was real. This was um, like my my representation, my mixed up representation of, firstly, being outside of the Fairmont building. When I lived outside of the Fairmont, there was always like puddles of water collecting outside of the jagged sidewalk, and then there's the occasional bit of tree, or that they were, tree or whatever, being planted in some sort of little grassy way, but then it would end up getting in the it, they it, in an area that basically just wasn't given any sort of attention to. So there again, they were jagged, and they were unarbored, and just weird kind of stuff. And they'd come through every few years, and they'll put a tree and then they'll leave it, and if it lives, it lives, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. That kind of stuff. And this was going on probably about when did I paint this? Oh my God, I was way back in my Facebook days, even. Uh, and so this represents the Fairmont building, and then also the different colors. They also represent the different areas of leaving the immediate downtown and moving into west downtown, where there's kind of a park area. And so I kind of, in my mind, uh, as if all this area is kind of like folded in itself, like, on some sort of axis or something like that. But so it's a very condensed vision of the area in which I live, and a lot of angst, a lot of uh, poverty. We were just starting to hear so much about how we were like, the murder capital, and gun violence being rampant, like all over the city, but especially in the more economically challenged neighborhoods where people have lived there generationally in these areas. They have lived there for um, you know 60, 70, 80 years, one generation after another, hardly ever branching out or leaving those neighborhoods, and certainly not moving out and moving their families out of those neighborhoods, because you know so there are these great big giant pockets of systemic and generational poverty that happens. And one of those places was the Fairmont, which I was living at the time. I'd moved in for it to be a starter apartment while I was looking around for a, a, a place to live in Shreveport. And then, of course, I move into uh, years later. I was there probably about 4 years. I was there for 4 years, and then I was moving from there to oh, Bayou Grande, where I live now. And of course, it's a rent controlled housing, and of course, there's some dilapidation. It's only been here for a few years, and it's already starting to, you know, kind of go down. They're trying. It's just a big thing. But yeah, but this was my statement on that. And then borrowing a line from the Violent Femmes, a lyric, "Don't shoot that thing at me," comes from the song "Add It Up," where um, there's a bridge between a couple of portions of the song, where it just talks about a young man running, and just a result of some being in that kind of environment on his life. And he runs downtown, and he gets a gun, and then he's like, "Don't shoot that thing at me. You got my sympathy, but don't shoot that thing at me." That it's just kind of like, hey, so it's that. And so it may seem that if I'm being trite and formulary on this one, but I'm really not. This one is, you know, specifically poignant to me. And I don't know. Uh, I took some pictures of it, laid them out. I don't know why I packed it away. I think what it is just I didn't have a place to put it, and I don't have a frame for it, and I don't want to do anything to, um, I don't want to like put it up on a nail or anything like that. I don't want to, I don't want to nail through the canvas or anything like that. But, you know, let's see something. Huh. There you go. Okay. Let me see how this works up here for a minute. I like it. It's kind of a low-key, folk arty, uh, just a touch. Uh, hmm, yeah, I don't like it. Do I like it up here? It's not going to stay up there. It would stay here. But then I've got the nail there that I had the other one hanging on. I don't really. Um, I don't know. I'll find a place for it. But it does. I feel like I do want to kind of bring it out and display it somewhere. To find. You know what? It just. I want to find a place that I think maybe what it is that because it's such. I mean, stylistically, it works, but the message is different because Um, this was all acrylic, and I did it in the course of maybe like 25, 30 minutes because I was with a group of people and we were hanging out after a gathering, uh, just kind of having an impromptu, art night painting or whatever. And they had these small canvases, and I'm like, yay, cool. And so I like that one. hmm. Where will this go? Oh, I think I know. I don't know. It's kind of pop art. Maybe it deserves to come in here with the media and stuff, the more edgier kind of stuff, and then also the comic book art and everything like that. But it is kind of a folk pop arty kind of thing. So, but I wanted to see. Yeah, I don't know, but anyway, I'm going through all these boxes because I'm trying to declutter the apartment, and I'm not really a hoarder. It's just more like I've gotten stuff and I have like put it in boxes and shoved it to the side. And it's like, I really just kind of want to uh, declutter the apartment and make room in some of the closets so I can make better use of some of the closets. I got to find a place for this though. I like this one and it says a lot. So I think it deserves to be displayed. I just got to find a place in the apartment that, you know, where it can go. Even though I have some of my other work over here, this is different. I don't think it belongs next to this display. This is, even here, uh, um, the more irritated reds and plum colors in this one. I don't think it goes. Yeah, all these were done in the same in the span of a few months of each other, and actually with the same batch of acrylic paints with some sort of beautiful, theme. They're connected, but they're not connected. Uh, Especially if you can look here, and my mind works this way. And when I'm painting, it's like, wow, I'm doing things that are kind of like incidental, where we have this uh, natural scene, and then the green kind of comes and arches up this way, and it kind of creates a recursion of shape. And blues and yellows kind of getting into a greenish and see it kind of makes a little bit of a flow there. Uh, Whether that was intentional or not, and it wasn't intentional. Uh, and then, of course, the reds kind of folding into this, uh, and so there's a flow of shape, and there's a flow of color, and then, of course, you know, a lot of expressionist wild growth, and the same over here. So And I just kind of wanted to do kind of like for this one, it was almost like I was playing around with, you know, roses are really bright and red, but I wanted something atypical of that. And so these flowers on top of these twigs or whatever, they're greenish, uh, and then the red in the background. If you want, you can think of it as whatever way you want to. I think of it as these shapes being in front of um, a early morning with the red sun kind of peeking through, and it's kind of like maybe like a really intense close up uh, of some of that, But whatever, it's representative. And then there's so many different other images, because after I did this and I put it on the wall, I looked at it, and the more I stare at it, the more I see other things. There are other things going on in this particular painting. Oh, you move it around a little bit, it almost looks like I moved the phone, and then the kind of the little quivers that makes it. It's almost like wow. It looks like some of the components within the painting gives the illusion that they're moving against each other. Almost uh, yeah, that's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like it. So I like to entertain myself that way. But nevertheless, this video is about my oil painting, my mixed medium oil painting, which really has no home right now. It has no regular place in my home. I think I'm just going to set it over here. Kind of let it sit into the background until I can find a place for it. No one's really going to notice it back there, so it's not going to be like too in your face. But what am I going to do with these light bulbs that I took out here? These are programmable, but every time my internet blips, I had to reprogram them, and I got tired of that, so I just took them out, and I want to keep them. I guess I can use them for emergency light bulbs. They'll probably last forever. They were expensive as hell. All right, there we go. I just gotta let it sit up there. I still don't have my rent payment yet. Now, that's a curious thing. Um, the story behind that one, if you're watching this video, is that the payment tool that they have us pay our rent in, for some weird reason, just last month stopped working for me. I don't know why. Just out of the blue, just stopped working. And I don't know. I do not know. But so this is the second month that I've tried to make the rent payment, and then it wouldn't go through. So I'm going to have to probably pay by money order again. But then I'm also going to have to make arrangements to pay ahead, because I'm going to be out of town at the start of next month. And if they accept the money order, great. If they don't accept the money order, I'm going to obviously ask for an invoice and everything. And just, I don't know, just communication for when there's any sort of stuff like this going on with any sort of administration, just calm but efficient communication is best. Um, you know, it's really not my job to provide direction or instruction. troubleshooting, but I think it may be even deeper than that. I think that the payments tool may or may not be compliant with some congressional rules that state that third-party payment apps have a certain they have certain qualifiers. They have certain qualifiers that must be in place, and the rules had changed, and maybe some maybe some institutions are looking at those more strictly than others, and maybe my credit union is looking at it more strictly as far as like I don't know. I don't know. I know that my credit union, I'm able to make remote payments through the same accounts to any number of other issues. So there's no reason why it shouldn't work with this particular uh, payment tool that my apartment management is using. So it's really going to be up to them to kind of work and kind of meet me halfway. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, that's enough for now. Love and light. God bless.